in Galatia, a group of men had come up and started really questioning the doctrine that they had been following. In particular, they talked to that in order to be saved, you had to really follow the laws, like of circumcision. So the Apostle Paul, who seeded that church in Galatia, wrote a letter to go ahead and dispel the false doctrine that was being sort of led into this church. And that's what happens when we get the book of Galatians. So the first thing that Paul does is really talk about how we are saved by our faith, not by our good works. So when we take this legalistic approach, which so often happens in churches, of you must do this in order to be this, it doesn't work. And the other thing that this group of men was doing was they were questioning Paul's authority, since he wasn't one of the first 12 of the disciples of Jesus Christ. And Paul wrote to state that his instruction comes directly from Jesus Christ. When that instruction and that message comes from the Lord and the gifts are given, that is what actually decides what an apostle is. Jesus is in charge of the whole system and the whole setup, not those of us here on earth. All of this talk that Paul does in his letter to the Galatians begins to lead us into the Spirit, right? And what we do is, the old law was that we had to do things and go through processes in order to be saved. Under Jesus Christ, it's peace and love. And by working with the Holy Spirit, what we do is we turn our bodies into temples, and they become fertile ground in order to bear the fruits of the Spirit. And what I love about this idea is all you have to do is bear the fruits. You are the tree, the vine, if you will. And all you're going to do is have those good fruits out there. Fruits like love, like joy, like peace, like long-suffering, like gentleness, like faith, like meekness, like goodness or temperance. These are qualities that as you start to lean on Jesus Christ, as you start to work with the Holy Spirit, these start to be produced in you like fruit. And then anyone around you can come and pluck them off in a moment's notice, giving them that joy, that peace, that long suffering. These are the types of fruits that not only sustain us as believers working for Jesus Christ with the Holy Spirit under God, but also sustain others and those around us, which is why Paul urges the Galatians to stick to the doctrine that Jesus Christ teaches of peace and grace, of working with the Holy Spirit as your comforter, your counselor, your strengthener, your friend, everything you need to serve God, who is our one true God in heaven. And all this Paul says as we talk about some great stories from the past. We're going to talk about Isaac and Ishmael. We're going to talk about the Holy Spirit. We're going to talk about Jesus. And it's all going to be a message of love to the church in Galatia, which becomes our book, Galatians, in the New Testament. All right. Happy Sunday. Chatting at Cheesman. Happy Sunday.